everybody, I am Alpha Bird. Welcome to a new Wargame cast today. We are continuing the Hardened tournament, and I have a game, Arts of War versus Just Victor, which hopefully will be a good one for us to look at. So, in the Hardened tournament, there's not been too much progress. There should be a link to the challenge page down below in the description, but I'm dropping down into the lower bracket. This is a double elimination tournament, so players have to lose 2 matches to be eliminated from the tournament. And so we're looking at some of those kind of lower bracket matches, you know, where the players have lost once, and this is whether they can stay in the tournament and continue or whether they get knocked out. So, with that out the way, we're looking at Arts of War versus Just Victor. Arts of War has an Entente deck at his disposal, and Just Victor has a Red 4 Airborne deck. So, just straight Red 4 Airborne. I thought it'd be an interesting game to look at because I don't think we've looked at an Airborne deck before on my Wargame cast. So, I thought that'd be a cool one to have a look at. So, Arts of War, he's on the left-hand side today, playing the Entente deck, and the M91A Vihor sticks out at me because although we've casted the Entente before, I'm not actually sure whether I've seen an M91A out there on the battlefield. That is the big super heavy, I guess you would call it. I'm hoping I'm getting that right, of the Entente deck, so it'll be a first time to see that out. Usually it's the M84s, the M84N as well in the Recon tab that are the heavier or the heaviest tank, that I've seen so far in the casts. In terms of the aircraft, well, we know Just Victor's bringing a heavy airborne deck. I have seen the deck. It is going to have a lot of planes in it. So the question is, can Arts of War hold back the horde of planes that you'll see in just a moment that Just Victor has access to? In order to do that, he's got the L-19s as his kind of dedicated air superiority fighter, and then the L-17Ks he's got as a cheaper kind of fallback fighter if he runs out of those L-19s or if he can't afford them. In the air tab, anti-air, I'm trying to look for, I think that's in the support tab, but I don't really recognize the vehicles that well. Oh, the, is it the Never? Oh god, I'm making a bit of a fool of myself here, aren't I? But yeah, I mean, there's no, like, major anti-air units sticking its nose out at me right now that I'm understanding, so clearly I must be making a fool of myself, but yeah, that strikes me as a bit interesting. So, Just Victor on the right-hand side, he's playing the Red 4 Airborne deck, so he gets access to all of Red 4's units, but he loses a lot of activation points for choosing that. I think he does gain some back, though, by having an Airborne specification. You guys that are Wargame players, out-and-out Wargame players, obviously already know all of this. I'm kind of trying to feed in some information for anyone that's new to Wargame that generally watches my Steel Division 2 casts. That's where I started, and that's where most of my subscribers are, so I'm trying to just fill in some of the blanks as well. And hopefully, you know, some of them might become Wargame players, you never know. In fact, I have seen one of my good friends has picked up the game recently. I don't know whether he was following my cast or not. Who knows? Anyway, what am I even talking about? Most of the infantry is made up of Russian units. The VDV-90s, very strong infantry from what I remember. Not too many helicopters in this deck. When I initially saw it was an airborne deck, I was expecting quite a lot of helicopters. The Lechka Dakota come in the Mi-17s. Then we've got some VDVs in the Mi-8 MTVs, and that's kind of it in the infantry tab. We do have some Mi-24K Recon Helos. The Lee Ren, I don't know whether they come in. No, I don't think they're in a helicopter. The ZZC-55. I don't actually know what that is, but I think that's a vehicle. Then we've got the Mi-24Ps, the M3W Sokols, and the SA-342 Hots in the helo tab. So 14 helos there, as well as the 3 in the recon tab. That is 17 dedicated helos. Then we've got the infantry tab ones as well. And then if we look at the plane tab, this is what I was talking about earlier. 25 planes in total. Maybe not as many as I first thought when I initially saw the deck and all of those cards in there. Most of them are sort of 2 or 3 planes per card. But there's quite a lot of cheap planes in there as well. I mean, if we look at the L29R Delphins, you get 5 of them at only 30 points. So it's actually cheaper than all of his infantry. The Hawk 51s, we've seen quite a few times. They can be pretty devastating as long as their bombing strikes hit the target. The Su-25T, that thing, if that gets into action, I think it's 16 semi-active laser homing missiles on that. I think there's cells to hit the enemy tanks, and just Victor has like charioteers, so basically no tanks of his own, so he's going to need those units, so he's going to need his planes to take down the enemy tanks. That is for sure. Right, let's get the game underway. And thank you to Richard Negron, who I've probably pronounced the name wrong, who has joined as a channel member recently. So very much thank you to you and all my other channel members as well. So on the left hand side in blue we have Arts of War playing the Entente deck, and on the right hand side in red we have Victor, or just Victor, playing the Red 4 Airborne deck. We got some early airborne action, of course. How would we not expect that? Who's going to get first blood? This is going to be interesting. And the MiG-25's actually coming up early, so interesting that Victor brought out 2 MiG-25s and not a single MiG and a separate plane. Definitely didn't want his helos getting shot down, I imagine. Oh, here we have the L29R Delphin strikes coming in. The Spat BOV. Okay, so that is an anti-air unit. Oh, but instantly gets deleted. And one of the Delphins might go down here. No, I think they all made it out alive. Okay, so there are plenty of Spats on the ground. To be fair, they are only 20 mils though. They're cheap 20 mils. So are they dedicated anti-air? Someone else is going to have to answer that because I don't want to miss any action. Looks like the HOTS firing down, trying to take out a couple of transports. Down south, we've got an engagement between the Liren and the Lekka Pekota. Both sides playing with the same kind of infantry there, the Lekka Pekota. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly. But yeah, I imagine the Liren are going to go down here. They are, I would say they are pretty decent. But yeah, they're just way outnumbered in terms of men, so they are going to go down. I just wanted to keep my eyes on the other action going on as well. We've got the MiG-21 MF taking something out that I didn't even spot what it was before it went down. Now we've got some Spat Fokker on, so we did have quite a bit of AA. But again, I mean, it's cheaper 30 mil. These are radar rounds though, so they should be more accurate. The Liren have gone down. The Factoria are firing on the OT-64s, trying to push through. Mi-24P on the field, just destroying the Mekhani Zvani in their way. The Delphin. Ooh, that could be quite a decent strike. Oh, man. Oh, a lot of damage coming in there onto those infantry units. And the center of this field has been pretty heavily decimated by Victor. The M84 is trying to back off here under the fire of these rockets from the the Mi-24K. Man, that's got quite a bit of range on those rockets. 2,100 meters. Ooh, and the Mi-24P coming in here as well. That thing has the Kokons on it. ATGM missile can do some devastating damage as well. The Delphins being so cheap, clearly Victor's getting a lot of use out of them already. You can see the bombs drop him. Oh, I thought he was going for the BVPs, but clearly my ability to track spatial positioning is not great. Hey, a lot of BTRs being called in. Yeah, there is a helicopter going around the southern side for Arts of War. So I don't know whether Victor spotted that on the way and that's why he's called in the BTRs. Or whether he's called them in and he's going to use them elsewhere. I guess he doesn't want his commander going down. Bit of a break in the action, as basically everything from Victor's goes back to reload. The Lekka Pikota are pushing forwards on the southern side. They should be able to deal with the Factoria as long as they don't get disrupted by enemy aircraft. Arts of War just needs to push forwards there, and he will get the position. So at the moment, I think in terms of map control, Bravo, Alpha and Foxtrot are... Well, so Bravo and Alpha are under more control of Arts of War. Foxtrot is kind of pretty even at the moment, although in terms of actual power on the ground, Arts of War definitely has more. But then, just Victor obviously concentrating his power in the air with his deck choice, so not too much of a surprise. The helo on the right-hand side did get spotted and has gone down. I think it's just here. Any survivors? Doesn't look like it. So, some more spats coming in here. We do have the RSPVO Never. Yeah, this was the Never that I saw. So this is a little bit more beefy than those spats. 4,200 meters on the airplanes though. So it doesn't have the greatest of ranges. Looks like we're going to have an engagement. Nope. The Tele KRH just firing off mortar rounds. Ooh. So I don't know whether he spotted the Spat BOV coming into the position or whether it fired earlier and he's only just got round to counter battery. I mean, if he did spot it, it was probably this Lekka Pikota here. Ooh, the OT-64C takes a T-21 shot there. Does go down. You've got some command infantry on the way from Arts of War, so although that is countered by Victor's command infantry in the KA-29EB. I was going to say I think that's quite a good... Oops. Don't know why that's happening. I can't zoom in. It stuck on the... I don't know what's happening. The cast has gone terribly wrong. Let's watch the Dolphins drop. Okay, they're going to miss the spat. For some reason... Okay, hopefully I'm back now. I'm sorry about that. I'm terribly... This is a terrible cast. Okay, mortar rounds firing in again. And a pause drug. Only one man left on that drug, though. So, as soon as it's fired on, it's going to go down. The Ural just using up those Saklos missiles. 2 of them used up just to destroy an unarmoured transport. And the Razvedkar might spot the T-55A here. And I imagine a strike's going to come in if he has. Ooh, we might see a push around the south. Could be into Bravo, could be into Charlie. With these helicopters massing. I think it also could be a reaction to the earlier push by Arts of War with the helicopter. I mean, Victor could just be trying to make sure the southern side is fully clear. So, Art of War has now pushed forward the Pakota onto the Factoria. There is a ZZC, so that was a vehicle. Bravo fully under Arts of War's command. So he does need to get some command infantry in. Again, my camera's messing up here. I really don't know what's happening. So I'm going to try not to zoom in because clearly things are going wrong. My mouse... It's impossible not to try and zoom in. Okay, the spat does go down. It does take a helo out, but not enough of a trade for Arts of War, I would say. There's too many helos. He needs to keep those AA units alive. Delphin's going to come in. Are they dropping on the Pakota? No, doesn't look like it. And the Lee Wrens are combining along with the Mi-24K. Now we see some L-19s, but we already have MiG-25 PDs up on the battlefield. So Art of War is going to try and take down those MiGs. He gets shots off. One of them goes down. Ooh, nice work from Art of War. Needs to get those L-19s out of there, though. He continues the engagement. I think this was a mistake. Will he take down another MiG? Ooh, he looks... I think he's going to go down there. Nope. So, I feel like that was a mistake from Art of War. He achieved quite a lot, taking out those MiG-25 PDs in the first engagement. And I think he should have called back his aircraft at that point. I feel like maybe he was being frustrated and he just tried to continue pressing that attack. But, yeah, I feel like that was a mistake. Looks like we do have some central action now. Again, I'm a little bit concerned that Art of War already has Alpha. And his force in Bravo has just been attacked, so I'm kind of surprised that those reinforcements didn't swing down to Bravo. And kind of at least put some more troops on the ground in Bravo, because other than this single building, Alpha is fully under Arts of War's control. J-22B's coming down south. The Never does fire off there. Misses the attack. Delphins continuing to fly above. The Spat getting involved as well. So I think those Delphins are going to go down. But it looks like they've been used to fire on the Never. Arts of War desperately try to get out of there. But he loses that Never. Ooh, that is a loss. That is a pretty big loss if you ask me. I don't know how many he had of those Nevers. Let me see whether I can get that up on screen. I think it's in the support tab. 2. I think he's got 2 of those available. So we've definitely seen one go down. I can't say I can see the other one on the field right now, so I think Arts of War does have one left available to him. But he's going to have to try and keep it alive. J-22's come in to try and hit the M84s. One strike on target. Heavily shaken tank there. Ooh, look at the damage on that thing. Trying to back away. And it looks like Victor is aiming to try and attack the center ground. Oh, he has brought in a command unit for Bravo, though. I was about to say I think it was a bit of a... I think he'd be better off attacking Bravo. Because he has the Lee Wren there as well. So he at least has recon optics to know there's nothing in the immediate vicinity. And the Lee Wren's flanking down south. So, you know, push a few reinforcements in there. Secure the buildings. I think that's what he's doing with the BTR ZD Sklezits with the Factoria in there, I presume. KA-29TB is going to come down and actually pick up the activation, the command points. He's going to pick up control of the area and get the tickets. That's what I mean. So we have what looks like a sneaky northern flank going on from Arts of War. I feel like he's trying to play Victor at his own game here with the helicopters pushing around. Oh man, this just looks so good. Oh my days, it just looks so good. I feel like he's trying to play him at his own game though, and he probably shouldn't play him at his own game. I don't really see how that push is going to be successful. Okay, Mi-84 does take out a transport roaming forward there. And should take out the BTRD as well at some point. The J-22B is coming in there. I think that's to target that M84. No. I think he didn't have sight of it, and then it fired just as he'd given the evac. I might be making a mistake there as well. MiGs come in there, I think. I was going to say, I think, to hit the Specialini Ginotki. Yeah. I think they needed to circle around to actually get the strikes out. MiG-29 is the air superiority fighter. J-22s have the air-to-ground Mavericks. Okay, we have some L-17Ks now that the L-19s have gone down. So these are the weaker air fighters. Yeah, they just get decimated. Ouch. Ouch. And now comes in a lot of the infantry. So I think Victor's destroyed a lot of stuff. And now he's happy to bring in a lot more infantry. We've got a bit of a helo push coming in over the centre ground. It looks like they're starting to push north following the Porsdrug opening fire on the T-55A there as well. That goes down to the J-22B. Oh, and the rockets coming in from the helos just decimated the Specialini Jednotki. And it's Pikota versus Pikota. A civil war has erupted. But all of the rocket fire from these Red 4 helos and the machine gun fire just doing the work. Mortars coming over as well. And the entire area just decimated. A single command unit left in Alpha. Victor's going to start pushing forwards. And the command unit's finally going to pick up Bravo as well. Oh, here's the flank attack. I'm glad I didn't miss this. So this could be an important moment right now. The M1107 spotted. Victor's having to move it, so he can't call in any more aircraft now. Possible really needs to take down that unit. But the MiG-29s came out just in time so that they were on the airfield and Victor could clear up that flank attack. There is still an Mi-35 here, but it's almost completely out of ammunition. Just has its 50 cal left on it. Starts to push forwards, but I think it is going to go down quite easily. We've got a BTR firing on it. Victor knows exactly where it is now. Yeah, and the Su-22 should come in and finish it off. No, it's going to overshoot. I think that's Arts of War calling it a day. Yeah. Just Victor, or Victor, becomes the victor. Congratulations to him. Commiserations to Arts of War. Victor wins it 1,755 points to 785 losses. I really enjoyed that game. It wasn't the best cast from me. I apologise. There were some issues with that, and the zooming in and zooming out, I don't know what happened there, but for some reason it was like my mouse was caught on a unit over in completely the wrong area. So whenever even though my mouse wasn't on it, whenever I tried to zoom in, it just went off in a different direction. So I apologize about that. Victor wins it. I did enjoy the game. It was interesting gameplay. Art of War, I think, was struggling. He just didn't really have, although he did have AA, I didn't quite know the decks well enough. Although he did have some AA in there, I don't think he had quite the right kind of AA to fight against that kind of airborne deck. But I'm not sure he would have known what deck Victor was taking beforehand. I'm not sure how the tournament rules are in Wargame compared to Steel Division 2. In the Steel Division 2 tournaments, you don't have the specializations for a start. Airborne, mechanized, armored, that kind of thing. But by the division that's chosen in Steel Division 2, you kind of know whether it's an airborne deck or not. There are airborne divisions, but you know that information up front, and you can adjust your deck before the start of the game. I don't know whether that's the same case in Wargame. Perhaps someone will leave a comment down below and let me know, but I'm not sure Arts of War really had the right composition of units to deal with that airborne deck, and just Victor was able to push through quite successfully. The Delphins being so cheap were quite an important part of the game, I felt. But it's kind of good to see some real cheap aircraft being utilised, because one of the things that I found when I was originally playing Wargame quite a few number of years ago is I am a bit weird in that I do like some of the obscure and earlier year vehicles and aircrafts and that kind of stuff, and a lot of the time they're kind of it's not just Wargame either, and Eugene's games as a whole, even in Steel Division 2, a lot of the kind of earlier war or earlier era units are just underutilized because they're a bit pants, really. Obviously, when you compare them to modern day war stuff, they are a bit, Delphins. They're not exactly great planes, are they? But in this kind of deck, I do like seeing those kind of cheaper equipment used, and I guess that's how you have to do it. I'm going to stop talking now. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and if you've got any recommended games. I am trying to cover tournaments, I think, more than just general Wargame games. So yeah, if you've got any recommended games from the Hardened tournament or from the monthly tournaments, then let me know. I'll take a look at them. Thanks very much for watching. I am Alpha Bird. I will see you next time.